Oh man, this thing, this this weapon, like I wanna say it's balanced, but at the same time I feel like there's so much cancer potential in this. I mean, you have crowd control, crowd control, crowd control, crowd control, cleanse and pull, cleanse, heal, self-heal, removal of traps, walls. I don't believe it removes gravity well and otherwise. I can try and show that in this video, but we'll see. And so far, I've killed hundreds of mobs with shields and spears, but I have not found it, so I will not be able to show this ability. So when I can, I will add a separate video for it. But currently I have no idea what this ability does. I've never seen it used by a mob, by a player, anything. So, getting along to just that, we're going to go over some abilities. We're going to go over the ones that, you know, are pretty easy to confirm and test. So lunge, you know, it's pretty simple. You dash towards your target. It has very good range. And of course, if you're not targeting a target, you go half the distance. Even though I kind of wish it would still go the normal distance, I feel like that's kind of gypped. But I guess it's a way to, you know, be like, oh, well, see, that's the potential behind this weapon. So I do like it for its option to get back onto the target very quickly. Now, it's debatable on what would be better, this or, say, since I'm in leather, tumble. But that's a toss-up. This has no crowd control, so I mean that's a downside. So I mean I would probably debate that. I believe as you level lunge, its cooldown goes lower, yeah, by a little bit. By 4 seconds. Obviously, you know, there's other modifiers there from armor and weapons that you can apply from the stats. All in all, very solid. It's not really my cup of tea, but I mean for a split mail user, that's probably going to be your bread and butter to be that split mail tank. You'll want this ability just for that fact. We're going to go on to the Flurry of Thrust. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do, but you know, whatever. So we're going to do Flurry of Thrust. It does direct damage. I don't think I can hit 2 targets at once, but we're going to, well, I might be able to. If I like get in here, yeah, I might be able to hit them both, as you can see. But basically you do damage, both of them get hit, everything in this line will get hit directly, and then it'll also take damage over time, so it's very strong. I don't know if I can, there we go. Yeah, you can poke pretty far too, so everyone in a line gets poked, I believe up to 3 targets in the basic attack. I do not know how many on Flurry of Thrust. So you can find that out yourself, but I'm pretty sure it probably will follow the same rule set. If not, it'll hit all targets in the area. But very good area of effect damage. Cannot complain there. Forceful Throw does damage. And if you hit them with Piercing Thrust, you get an effect afterwards. So let's go ahead and show that off. You'll notice you got a snare. I don't know if, because it does say snare, root, stun effects if the target has been hit recently. So if I go 1, 2, 3, throw, it still seems to be a snare. So whatever. At the same time, you can hit both of these like this. Once that comes up, I can throw it at both of them. So that's pretty handy. Huh, that one was a stun effect. I want to see if that's random or not, or if it's because 2 targets were hit. That's a root. Yeah, it's most likely random. That's kind of weird. We'll try it one more time just to confirm if it's random. Because it's definitely not based on health. And see that one? Oh, because I wasn't aiming all the way down this is probably what it was. We'll do it one more time. Because another thing you have to remember when you're throwing these kind of abilities, if you throw it short, it might not hit both. So yeah, that's kind of a deal. Always make sure you're pointing your mouse far enough away to where you will hit them completely. Because say I go to throw it at this guy, I throw it short. Wait, why did that one work then? We're going to try that one more time, see if it hits them both. Yeah, see, it stopped right there. So maybe it's just when it goes through a target you have to aim farther. So we hit, we throw, yeah. Pin down, I'll have to show its secondary effect as well. So let me actually go down to do, well actually no. Yeah, we'll go down. And we'll also show off Shield Bash, which is actually very, 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 very strong as a crowd control. I would pretty much say this is a required ability. Even if you take no other crowd control, this is one that you definitely need in your kit. It's just super, super strong. So let's see if I can aggro something here. There we go. We hit the Shield Bash, he's silenced, his attack speed is slowed. Well, sorry, his ability speed is slowed, his cooldowns are increased. So what we're going to do here is we're going to hit him with 2. He gets hit into the wall, he gets stunned. So, you do that first hit, we're going to go ahead and do it again because it has a 2-hit component. And that does so much damage. So we're going to go ahead and hit him with 2 again into a wall. Oh, well, apparently the game decides. I guess it's based on the circle. It's not a line, it's a, it's a circle ability. So we'll see if I can knock somebody into a wall here. Maybe, ooh, well, he's not the NPC I'd probably want, but that's okay. We're going to see if he gets closer. Oh, can't throw it up and over. But that's okay. So we're going to go ahead and try and knock him into the wall here. If he will let us. I should just switch targets, honestly. Find a melee mob to use. Just easier to show off. Because I want to see if... No, fuck off. So like, see, he's right here. And then we want to hit him into a wall. He gets hit by the damage, he gets stunned. Go ahead and do it one more time. Because I want to see if it shows 2 sets of damage or if it just does 1 set. Because you'll see it says damage 1 and damage 2. Yeah, so it hits both hits of damage rather than that. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and show off Cleansing Shove. So I'm going to hit him with this. Cleanse. And it heals me for the debuffs that were there. Which... It says I heal 50 to 100, so I don't understand that one. It didn't heal that much, so we're going to do it again. There we go, that was reasonable. The last one didn't. Oh wait, that's right, Scythe, stupid. He had the healing reduction on me. Anyways, so as you can see, lots of good abilities there. Damage over time. There's a 2-hit component on pin down, so you always want to try and hit them into a wall if you can. And even if you don't, it does root the target. But all in all, the stun is fantastic, so I would recommend trying to, at all times, knock them into a wall. The Shield Bash, must have. Absolute must have. I don't know if it actually shows that this ability, Shield Bash, increases on damage. It does not say that it does. But it does a considerable amount of damage, so there's that. But it is only single target, even though it looks like something that, would be an AoE, but I would say it definitely needs to stay single target. It is a very strong, strong, strong ability. Like, I don't think you could honestly buff that. Like, this is probably the only weapon where I could say does not need any buffs anywhere. Like, anywhere at all. This is the most polished... Actually, no. Lunge is the only thing. Like, oh no, I didn't dash to them, but I get half the distance. That is probably the only thing I would say definitely needs to have a little bit of a perk added. So we're going to go ahead and switch our kit a little more. We're going to get breathing room. We're going to go ahead and grab the emergency. Yeah, we'll grab emergency. We don't really need cleansing shove. We don't need to worry about that. We'll do that. And then I'll show off clear the field here in a bit. So we'll go ahead and do the leap first, which obviously you have to leap to an ally. It'll heal them for 200, you for 100 at rank 1. At rank 20 it does 150 and 300. That is your choice whether you level it at its current state. It's pretty good. It doesn't scale with cooldown from what it shows in the tooltip. That could be wrong, but you know, it's good to get to your ally and stop anything from happening to them. So there's that. And we're going to go ahead and go with breathing room and emergency rescue on the mobs down here. So we're going to go ahead and find a friend. And, you know, rescue them. Oh, no, 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 no. I don't want you. You fuck off. Oh, what? He lagged backwards, so it didn't do anything? You scumbag. Anyway, so as you can see, I used the emergency rescue. Yeah, it does not go over walls, so that's something to know. But basically, like, oh no, you're gonna die, and then I rescue him. Whatever. Alright, this guy is gonna get annoying, so we're gonna go ahead and shove him back, which it has a decent pushback, but I just wanted to get him away from me for a second. I want to get a mob that the positioning would be better for that. So let's see what we got up here. There's definitely a mob around here. Ooh. Alright, we're gonna... Alright, so you see, decent knockback, gives resistance for a short duration, which obviously the duration increases as you level it up. But they do take more damage. Well, no, they take a damage reduction. That's pretty handy. So they do less damage, but you take less damage. Pretty solid, if you honestly ask anyone, for that matter. Would I take it, though? Probably not, because I don't think I want to push a target away from me for that, unless maybe it's melee. Basically, you can only push one target. The buff, I guess, you know, when you get it maxed out would be nice, but it doesn't state it gets stronger. It doesn't tell you the multiplier of either one, so probably not worth taking. I would definitely say pin down would be better in that regard, because at least then you can get a stun. I absolutely love emergency rescue. I like this entire weapon and all of it. Like, just everything about it is fantastic. Probably put emergency rescue there. I definitely want my pin down. There's just no contest there. I want my pin down. But clearing the field. This one's going to be interesting because I know it clears traps. So obviously, like, you see the area and it clears everything there. But what I want to show off is whether or not it'll clear a gravity well. So we're going to throw a gravity well out and see if it can clear that. Because I know it cannot clear and incinerate. I don't think it can. We're going to try it again, and we're going to stand in the center of it this time. Switch back to Spear and Shield. I'm going to try it again. No, it cannot clear that. But it will clear traps, it will clear walls. There is somewhat of a crappy factor on you know, you're rooted in place when you do it. So honestly, I would say if you're worried about keeping the field clear of walls and whatnot, you can always preemptively avoid it by throwing down, you know, gravity wells on a certain point so they can't stop you, or like say throw an incinerate. I believe healing totem will also block it, which I could show that off in another video, but honestly, clearing the field, I could see it being useful, but if the walls and whatnot that anyone would place with a staff can actually work with pin down, I wouldn't even remove them. I wouldn't even worry about them because you can go robe and teleport over them. They're not a huge obstacle until they get leveled, so you can always run around them. Unless they place it like at a choke point, then you're a little screwed there. But I would probably say that's one of the abilities I don't really like. If it maybe allowed you to do it while you're moving, and maybe say add an effect like, you know, you clear the field so you remove traps, etc. in that area, maybe heal you for whatever you remove. That would be nice. And I mean, yeah, cleansing shove is already something that you can do there, but meh. But this is probably my little kit I would use. I'd probably, you know, swap out whatever. Well, yeah, this would probably be what it would be. I don't really need lunge per se. That's if I was going leather, though. Leather's fast enough to where I don't think I would need lunge. If I do, I could always change it, because I mean, forceful throw is fantastic for the damage, but I mean, pin down does a decent amount too. It's a toss-up. But if I can hit multiple targets, that's nice too. Or I could even take away flurry of thrust so I can get lunge. It's all around. The whole kit is nice. Lunge could definitely use the fact that as you use it, it actually goes the whole distance rather than half the distance if you don't have a target. Maybe another thing you could do is if you collide with a target, maybe apply a brief stun. Just a single target stun, not an AoE stun, single target stun. I mean, if you're charging to the target, you're on top of the target, probably should stun, but I mean, you have a lot of other stuns too, so I guess I can't really hate it. Or maybe after lunge you get a movement speed buff, just something. But I would say being able to go the whole distance, so it's like a ghetto man's blink, probably quite viable. Even though this weapon is probably considered overpowered just on shield bash alone. Because I mean, it is a 6 to 12 second crowd control for a single target. I mean, I can't even be mad, because I mean, if it's a stack fight, if he wants that guy to not do anything, he's going to do it. He's going to, boom, you're not doing shit. Even though it is kind of silly, because I've gone over on this on every other video. If I look at gravity, well, like, yeah, there's crowd control there, but look at that. I didn't even knock them above a fourth of their determination. And that is a strong, strong CC. It's not a root, it's not a stun, it's not any form of displacement, but that is huge. Like, you know, 2 to 4 seconds of silence, you know, and then that cooldown hit and the ability speed. That's huge. If I had, well, I could run over to a mob and do it, but it basically, I want to say it does a 40 to 50% hit to both your cooldown speed and your ability speed. So you're, as soon as you get by this, you're not doing any damage. Your healing per second is way, 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 way down. Definitely a strong ability. I would definitely recommend leveling this, just for the simple fact, boom, it does damage, it silences, and it just screws up their DPS, and you're just like boom, 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 E. I mean, they're taking a shitload of damage. I mean, you knock them into a wall afterwards. Like, what are they going to do? And even then, like, you're fighting, you see your buddy in trouble over there, and he's pulled to you. He's cleansed. He's immune for like 5 seconds at rank 1. If somebody else is hit with debuffs, so let's say, you know, you go ahead and hit him with pin down, and then it's like, oh no! No fucks. All in all, fantastic line. I would say this one is borderline broken with its crowd control potential, its area damage potential. Its supportive aspects are super, super strong. But I can't say I'd want to see it nerfed, because it does the role that I personally feel it should do. The only thing you could really nerf on it is maybe its damage, but even then, it's meant to be a tank, it's meant to have crowd control, it's meant to be aggravating. And hell, it even has a goddamn heal. Like, you go ahead and get supportive leap, and, you know, it's not terrible. Like, you know, 12 seconds, 200 health, it's not bad. I can't even be mad there. All in all, good for that bruiser role, that high crowd control role, supportive, and just all in all, just great, great weapon line.